So, hey guys, we haven't really done a deck building challenge in a while, so I just want to answer a pretty simple question for myself. So, what is the dumbest strategy that we could maybe consistently-ish win with? Maybe even if we're only like winning going first, it's fine. But just what's the dumbest thing we could do to guarantee that we win the duel? So, I mean, if we're looking at Cool Tune, let's real quickly check what Cool Tune actually does, because I suppose this would be the one of, if not the primary deck that's most poppin' right now. So, beating this deck consistently-ish should be the goal, I suppose. So let's see. Place one card from your opponent's graveyard on the bottom of their deck. That doesn't matter at all. The annoying effect here, I think, is Q, honestly. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can excavate the two cards from the top of your opponent's deck, mash one of them, and place the other on the top or bottom of the deck. So we'll put a pin on that for a second. We're going to look at a few other cards. Add a cool 2 monster from your deck or graveyard. So if we have Roko can actually add back Q. And then Q cannot special summon itself back, but it does also special summon from the graveyard. Next is Cool Tune Synchro. Where is this add from? Deck only. Doesn't one of these do something relating to the graveyard? No, that doesn't matter. Apply that banish monster's effect activates when it's sent to the graveyard. So the Q effect can be activated again with Loudness War if your opponent activates something. So let's assume I don't activate anything like ever, then this still can trigger like 6 times or something. Okay, remix. During your opponent's turn, you can tribute this card, choose 2 non-synchro in your graveyard, add one of them to your hand. And if you do special summon the other, then immediately after this effect resolves, you can, so optional synchro summon. And what is Q's effect again? And what's Reko's effect? Except to level 3 monsters. So we can actually go that this is an infinite, actually, isn't it? We can go remix, special summoning Q special summons Rico returning like remix or whatever to the hand, right? Can you do that? This is an effect, right? So I think you can return this to the extra deck then, can't you? Yeah. And anything else? No other recycling effects, I don't think. But okay, so the thing that I was thinking of was maybe we could do Crooked Cook Exodia, but Cool Tune Q can be activated so many times, even if we play into RNG and assume like maybe our opponent misses and whiffs and doesn't hit any of our Exodia pieces a few times, then there's still decent odds that we'll have to deal with this, right? And our opponent will just randomly be able to hit an Exodia piece given enough time, because they can recycle Q so many times with like a combination of Reko, Q, and then remix as well. So if your opponent's given ample time, they're just going to be able to remove your Exodia pieces, preventing you from assembling Exodia over the course of like, it'll usually be around like 30 turns, probably an average of something like that with Crooked Cook Exodia. So that strategy doesn't work. Also, that also nullifies any sitting on tower kind of strategy, because you'll lose the deck out first somewhat, unless your towers is something that can actually like do significant damage, remove a lot of bodies, you know? Something in that category might be okay. So even if we did sit on, in theory, like an Avramax, they can easily put and kind of start recycling and putting multiple cool tune monsters onto the board, and this doesn't even like consider the fact that they can actually out specifically Avermax, because they do have one non-targeting effect in Crack Maker. So there goes a few of our kind of, dumb strategies. So anything regarding like an Exodia, we should probably just give up on that. Mostly because, well, if we don't do it in an FTK kind of way, so if we were to do it like the Sangan method, where we set Sangan, and then like if Sangan gets outed, we add Exodia. So even if they don't interrupt like our Sangan ads or whatever, or they don't even remove our back row that we're using to stall the game for all of our Sangan searches, so stuff like Waboku or whatever, they can still queue to banish all of our cards, bro. And also, of course, they can technically return the Sangans to our hand with like the Track Maker, so they don't even have to destroy it or send it to the graveyard to, you know, beat our ass in and prevent us from like dropping Exodia pieces as well. I mean, the most obvious way to beat them would be to just simply drop a macro type effect, because that would prevent all of their graveyard effects, and also that prevents pretty much everything except for Zalin. This is the only card that I believe has any significant effects if macro were active. Everything else is like literally just not usable or doesn't really do anything. So what's the play from here? I mean, hold. What about this? Ring of Destruction. What do you say? Original attack. That doesn't do as much damage as I would like then. Because if we were to, in theory, destroy like maybe B2B, that would be like 3.5k. I think, right? Maybe. Or if we were to destroy a really hefty like Reco, I think. No, not Reco. What was it called? Like RX? What was this card called? RS, not RX. Okay, close enough. But if we were to destroy this card while it's like super boosted, that would normally do a lot of damage, I guess. I mean, we could kind of burn. Burn is not impossible. I guess worth mentioning is that this actually doesn't work against battle traps. Oh, so that's like a route we can go. Just activating traps in the battle phase, because this actually can't negate anything here. But they do have removal with you have removal with like Reco, so this can remove a spell trap. I think this is the only thing that removes it though. And then the next thing would be Zalin that you have to worry about, but I think that's their only negate. If we only have traps, we can make it genuinely impossible to chain to our stuff. And if we have enough traps, we could prevent Zalin from being summoned in the first place, technically, I guess. I mean, D-Barrier is kind of nasty if we were to do that method. We can make it, like, moderately consistent, but I don't think I'm that big of a fan of that method. And it doesn't really feel dumb. It's pretty efficient, but not dumb. What kind of thing could we do to Cool Tune to make their cards not really usable? Oh, wait. Hold. 100. 900. 100. 900. If I recall correctly, these guys, to synchro summon, they actually need one of these tuners on the field. Oh. Damn. I found the strategy. And I remember how this works, yeah? So you have King Tiger Wanghu, right? If a monster with 1400 or less attack is no more special summoned. So if we look at this, then... Well, is there something aside from Wanghu that we could use? Because this is a little bit out of Wanghu's threshold, actually. Hmm. Um. Hmm. Damn. Also, wait, how does Wanghu even interact with like Clip? If Clip effect activates, do they get to synchro, or does Clip get like exploded mid-chain? Huh. How is it supposed to work even? Is it supposed to explode mid-chain? So if it doesn't work, would it just be bugged? Hmm. Well, yeah, Reco is 1500. So it does destroy everything. Like every single main deck cool tune you could possibly attempt to summon gets destroyed, with the exception of Reco. So if we did throw in like an attack minus type effect, then we get there. And one of the ways that you can access Wanghu consistently, I believe, was you play it with Verna Selfs. Because this is an Earth monster and you have this one effect. Which one was it? Let's see. Send from your deck to the graveyard one Earth monster that can be normal summon / set. Then you can special summon one Earth monster from your graveyard with a different name of that monster. This effect. This can just special summon Wanghu essentially from deck. And what does the duck do? You can discard this card and one monster or one Verself card. Add one Earth Fairy monster from your deck to your hand. So this can technically add this one, which gets us into the Wanghu. Works for me. This also works, right? Doesn't one of these Burn Self of the Misting Seedlings. This can allow us to Wanghu to destroy. So I mean it works good enough. Add from graveyard to hand. I guess we can do that. We don't have much to add here. This isn't even that expensive to make. Wow. Does this do anything good? Discard this card and one monster from yourself card, draw one card, then special summon an Earth monster from your graveyard. So the awkward thing, a little bit awkward, is these guys are also within the Wanghu threshold, so we just have to summon like Misting Seedlings first before summoning Wanghu. Which, I mean, that's probably possible, right? And how do we summon this? We can just summon this, right? Uh-huh. That's the monster negate. Anything else? During your opponent's turn, you can target one Earth monster in your graveyard, special summon it. That's probably fine as a one-of. Corolla. Does this do anything? Let's soft ones per turn. Full bloom. Verna Sylph and the flower buds. What card is that? This trap? Do these have any graveyard effects? You can banish this card from your graveyard. Special summon as many Verna monsters as possible with different names from your graveyard. Not really that good, huh? I mean, this mostly gets us where we want to be, though, in theory. This effect's actually optional if we want to use this. All Earth monsters you control are also treated as Verna Self monsters. Does that matter? It could, I guess. Verna Self monster. You don't say. I mean, I guess you can go in like Foolish Burial. We have a lot of deck space to throw in like whatever random stuff we want. The thing is that there is like an Earth Lock, right? But it's only for the rest of the turn. can we discard any monster? One monster or burn a self card, so it doesn't actually matter what we discard for these. So if we did stock our hand with just an obscene amount of monsters for whatever reason, it would work. Okay, so we can just throw in a random dumb starter to actually get us places here. I mean, the dumbest way I can think of to do that is probably a Soul Day, right? Effectiveness, arguable. Does it work? Probably. So now we just need one card, a one card method to do stuff with a Soul Day, right? I mean, sure. I'll throw in like a few of these. Does it make sense, I guess? Grenade, or, and then second Grenade, I think. Wait, do we want a second Grenade? I don't know exactly what we want, but what was that thing called? Hum. This one, I think, the Gear Blade. I guess that's fine to put in our hand. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I guess if we like hard open the Durendal, we're just hoping not to hard open both of these. We do have bricks in here, I guess. Which I am just perfectly fine with, I guess, right? I want to throw in something funny, so we'll throw in the Hungry Burger. And that's going to be what we search off of a Soul Day. And this is in fact a monster, so we can discard it with the burn of self cards. Does it do anything else? No. No, it does not. And we can technically run some Earth Warrior. So just some Earth Warriors that would work to bring out our Soul Day, or help towards that maybe. Let's real quickly check if there are any Earth Warriors worth just throwing in here, I guess. What were they called, I think? These guys might have been good to throw in, maybe. Morning Star, yeah. Normal or special summon, add one hero spell trap for your deck to your hand. Okay. And what's the target for this? Again, Curate Call, special summon from one warrior monster from your hand or graveyard. Alright. 3. Okay, I got it. To make this work, I think we do want the hero guys. Somewhat. Which ones, though? Which one is the most useful one? Is we're going to summon it probably with like MX Saber Invoker. Normal summon only. Hero spell Trap. I guess we can use that card as like a Monster Reborn to do something with. Yeah, I don't really know what we're going to do with this, but I guess we can just throw in like 2 copies of this guy, unless MX Saber Invoker can special from hand. No? Yeah, I just don't really care to make this deck that good, honestly, so... Is there hard ones per turn on this? There sure is. Okay, then. Who cares about the garnets in this list? I already threw in Hungry Burger, you know? Seems fine, I suppose. I don't know if there was like any other hero challenger type guys or Earth Warriors worth actually putting in the list, but we don't have to make the deck that good. So now to finish this off, we're going to make something make absolutely no sense. We're going to grab the Radiant Typhoon cards. And this is going to look dumb, but okay, wait. Okay, we're just going to simply grab these guys, and we're just going to throw them in, you know? 3 chant, no locks, you know? Eldom, Schwen. Crucia. We don't really need Crucia, right? Trigger for this is, yeah. We can throw in one Varu if we feel like it. Varu's like, okay, if we wanted to do that. We could also throw in this Varu if we wanted. I guess it's like fine to throw in the extra deck. Doesn't really do anything negative here. We don't need like that much of anything else, I guess. We do probably want at least one MST, just because MST is nice to have, I guess. Vision. But looking at this, like, yeah, no, not really useful, huh? We can technically summon Megala, right? It just doesn't really do anything, per se. It's just going to be like an additional body, I guess. And then we can just convert these guys into like Hammock Saber Invoker, Isolde. We can also convert them into Ashura King. And this is going to just be able to be used as like monster negates if we want to use this to, well, this is also an earth, right? So we can use this to protect like our Verna self effects to make sure those resolve, I guess. And we can also use them to go into like Isolde to add us like a couple of bodies, I guess. So the line when we go into Isolde, it's going to be, well, for starters, it'll be well, Isolde effect to add Hungry Burger, so we have one monster added. Renaud is going to send Durendal, and then we're going to grab Durendal, and then Durendal is going to allow us to grab, I guess, another Renaud. I don't know what else we're grabbing, so that's what we're going with for now. So yeah, we just have two monsters in hand now for discarding. They'll be the Renaud and Hungry Burger, I guess. Sure, works for me. And technically we will have at least Renaud plus Isolde on the board, which then we can convert into something. I don't know. We can at least throw in an SP because I'll play around technically like Nibiru maybe if we wanted to play around it that way. We could also just make Ashura King through like a variety of kind of dumb ways, so maybe not so necessary. I mean, potentially, I guess, right? Most of our deck is monsters, which is good, I guess. Did they hit this? Like Herald of Orange Layer? I mean, I guess you would throw that in, technically. Because a lot of these are fairies, or whatever. What are we doing with Isolde and Renaud? Isolde, Renaud. I mean, we only have two buys. We could technically go into like Fiendsmith combo if we really want to. Doesn't really matter though at this point. So technically if we open, yeah, we can go into, I guess, maybe Avramax, throw in IP as well. You know, just for funsies, I guess. Well, actually, do we need a spell trap negate or something in case our opponent has like Imperm or our King Tiger? Didn't really think about that actually. So if we did care about that, we would just dip harder into maybe Radiant Typhoon, or we would go into some extra deck stuff that actually can take care of this, I guess. Spells or traps could threaten this either way, so you would want spell trap negate in theory. So I mean, if we were completely cooked in the head, we could just do an actual like what was it called? Infernoble combo. Actually end on like Charles and stuff. And then we just also slap a Wanghu in there, you know, just to really get our point across. But you know, that deck sounds like it's actually a little bit too good. So we'll just call it with this for now. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.